Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live in. Today on ESPN, it was an ESPN Plus article, so if you don't have it, unfortunately you can't read it. But they had an article entitled Ranking the 50 Biggest NFL Draft Steals of the Past Decade. It was written by Matt Miller and Jordan Reid. So basically, the two guys ranked their personal top 75, which they combined to form a final top 50 list. They had a few rules when considering players. First rounders weren't included. Undrafted free agents were also excluded. To qualify, a player must have been drafted at least 15 spots, roughly half a round later than he should have been. That's just a floor for the exercise. There aren't any 2023 draft picks here, obviously, as they have not played yet. So let's take a look at their top 10, and I'll quickly name 11 through 50 after I'm done. The one thing I will say how I would have done it differently is, let's say a guy was drafted in the 7th round compared to the 2nd round, and they were very close in value. I would have put the 7th round guy higher. It looks like this list here is really just the best 50 players drafted after the 1st round in the past decade, but still was a fun read. And let's get into it. So we'll start with 10 through 6. So in parentheses is first the number pick they were drafted with, and then the year they were drafted. So 10th is Jalen Hurts. Had an amazing season this past year. I'm not sure I would have put him this high already since it's really been just 1 year. I mean, he was good in 2021, but not otherworldly like he was last season. But shout out to him. He definitely helped my fantasy football team this past year. 9th, Fred Warner, drafted 70th overall in 2018. Probably the best middle linebacker currently in the NFL, and he was a 3rd round pick. 8th, we got George Kittle. The tight end was taken 146th overall in 2017. So a 5th round pick. For a brief amount of time, he had the single season record for receiving yards with 1,377. Since been surpassed by Travis Kelce. 7th, Stephon Diggs. I think he might be a little low. I would probably put him ahead of the guy at 6. But Diggs drafted 146th overall in 2015. He already has 8,812 receiving yards and 703 catches in 8 seasons. 6th, Dak Prescott. 135th in 2016. Definitely exceeded his draft position. I just don't know if I would have put him 6th this high. I might have put in Warner and Diggs ahead of him. And arguably Kittle. Kittle's had some seasons where he's been injured, though. But Prescott has been a very good regular season quarterback. 166 passing touchdowns to 65 interceptions. Let's take a look at the top 5. And both 1 and 2 were drafted by the same team. So 5th, Derrick Henry. 45th overall in 2016. A over 2,000 yard season. 8,335 rushing yards, 78 touchdowns in 7 seasons. Just such a bruising back, old school type guy where he's just the bell cow and he receives so many touches a game. 4th, Cooper Kupp. 69th in 2017, otherworldly 2021. One of the best seasons ever by a receiver, was Offensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl MVP that season. I'm not that he hasn't had other productive seasons, but that one was kind of an outlier in that he hasn't come close to approaching those numbers. He might have last season if he didn't get hurt. So I might have put Henry ahead of him, although Kupp is a Super Bowl MVP. 3rd, Devontae Adams, 53rd in 2014. 9,637 yards and 87 touchdowns in 9 seasons. Oh, and if you thought he couldn't play without Aaron Rodgers, he just had caught 100 passes for 1,516 yards and 14 touchdowns last season. His first without Rodgers with the Raiders. 2nd, Tyreek Hill, drafted by the Chiefs. 165th overall in 2016. Last season was his first with the Dolphins. Off the field issues were the main reason for his drop in the draft, but 8,340 yards and 63 touchdowns in 7 seasons. He said he wants to go over 2,000 yards this season. Let's see if that happens. Travis Kelce, number 1. Maybe surprised it's a tight end, but when it's a guy who arguably could be the best tight end in NFL history by the time his career is over, I understand it. 63rd overall in 2013. 10 seasons, 814 catches, 10,344 yards, 69 touchdowns, two-time Super Bowl winner with the Chiefs. So those are the top 10. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Let me quickly name 11 through 50. So 11, David Bakhtiari. 12th, Chris Jones. 13th, Alvin Kamara. 14th, Deebo Samuel. 15th, Terran Armstead. 16th, the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. 17th, Keenan Allen. 18th, Jordan Mailata. 19th, A.J. Brown. 20th, Le'Veon Bell. 21st, Kevin Byard. 22nd, Shaquille Leonard. 23rd, Darius Slay. 24th, Derek Carr. 25th, Nick Chubb. 26th, Grady Jarrett. 27th, Max Crosby. 28th, Mark Andrews. 29th, Terry McLaurin. 30th, Danielle Hunter. 31st, Matthew Judon. 32nd, Michael Thomas. 33rd, Justin Simmons. 34th, DK Metcalf. 35th, Dalvin Cook. 36th, Elgton Jenkins. 37th, Wyatt Teller. 38th, Trayvon Diggs. 39th, Tyler Lockett. Seems low. 40th, Orlando Brown Jr. I know some Chiefs fans that don't think he should be that high. 41st, Javon Hargrave. 42nd, Quandre Diggs. 43rd, Joe Thuney. 44th, DeMarcus Lawrence. When his career started, I thought he'd be higher. Still productive, though. 45th, Buda Baker. Might be a little low. 46th, Corey Linsley. 47th, Trey Hendrickson. 48th, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 49th, Brian O'Neill. 50th, T. Higgins. Man, hard to believe that he's that low. But who just missed? They named 5 guys: Matt Milano, Ryan Jensen, Micah Hyde, Chris Godwin, and Jordan Poyer. So both of the Bills safeties. What are your thoughts? Who do you consider the biggest draft steal over the past decade? Maybe like I said, if I were to do this, and maybe I will in the future, I've done articles kind of similar to this in the past. I would have had guys drafted later over guys drafted higher that had similar careers. They didn't do that here, but still, again, a fun read. Definitely check it out if you have ESPN Plus. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications.